I'm John from McIldowie Partners Architects, and we've gone one step further than last group, and I've invited the client, Ed Tudor from MITS to join us.
Great.
Present today. Excellent. So welcome, Ed, and thank you for having us. We're here to present the Melbourne Indigenous Transition School boarding house project, but I'll hand over to Ed.
So MITS is a very small school for young First Nations people who, with the support of their families, want to come and pursue educational opportunities in Melbourne. Our students come to us at Year 7, and at Year 7 and 8 we are a school, and they live with us and they board with us. And from our establishment in 2016, we came to understand that our program was very effective, but when our students stepped from Years 9 onwards into our pathway schools, and those are a dozen grade schools across all the schooling sectors of Melbourne, a real challenge that they came up against was cultural safety at night. That we all need to go home at night and pull on the literal and the figurative tracksuit pants, exhale, be with our people, be in a safe environment that then allows us to recharge the batteries for the next day. And so we responded to that learning, and over the past several years we have established a number of senior alumni boarding houses, and those allow our students to continue to live with us, with each other, supported by our MITS people, who are 35% First Nations staff, 50% First Nations executive, so that they can remain strong in their cultures while grabbing the opportunities of education in Melbourne. So this project sits amongst an existing collection of MITS boarding houses on Richmond Hill, very important ceremonial ground just down the hill at Yarra Park, which is where our school site is at the Richmond Football Club. The significance of this project was that all of those other boarding house projects have been refurbishment projects of old colonial buildings. So we've had to work very hard to retrofit cultural safety into what are, by definition, not culturally safe buildings. And so this project was, for the first time, an opportunity for us to express our values, our vision as an organisation, but most importantly to speak to the cultures of our students, to speak to the many strengths that they bring with them to Melbourne, and to speak about that to our community. So the brief for McIldowie Partners was to create a home for 40 MITS students and for our administration staff, with meeting and gathering spaces to open MITS out to our community. The boarding spaces were to incorporate kitchen and dining spaces for up to 100 students, allowing all of our students on Richmond Hill to come together as a connected community.
So from a design side, it was really important that the project sat within the broader context, of the broader cultural heritage context of the site. And we wanted there to be a dialogue between the place and the country that the building was on, with the diversity of the MITS community, who are from all over the Northern Territory and regional Victoria. So to explore this, we worked with the cultural heritage team to look at the history of the site from a cultural heritage perspective and its surrounding context. And as Ed has said, Yarra Park here is a significant site with a number of scarred trees on the Victorian Aboriginal Heritage Register, sort of key landmarks, and sitting within sort of a landscape context, which was a key driver for some of the design concept work. So the design has three key strategies. The first is to set the building within a reclaimed native landscape, so to connect students with country into the broader history of the site. The second is to establish a street-facing statement of MITS's identity, set back from the street in alignment with adjoining buildings, and also 2 stories in height to align with the streetscape. And then finally, to place a harder working boarding facility to the rear of the site, set over 3 levels, connected to courtyards at the north and south, and also a rooftop terrace occupies the setback of the west facing building. This is the ground floor of that. This is the MITS administration areas, meeting spaces, foyers, and then the boarding facilities, the ground floor, all social spaces, all shared spaces and dorms at the levels above. So if the building is set within landscape, how might the architecture express the values and aspirations of MITS and its community? That was really the key question for how the architectural response might unfold. And to do this, we've envisaged the facade as a canvas for storytelling, for cultural celebration and exchange. So we worked with MITS staff member and Indigenous artist Lorraine Kabindi White, who designed this artwork. It tells the Dreamtime story of the first bees, which is a story of transformation when men's spirits turn into bees, as analogous to the young boys and girls turning into men and women. The screen, this is a detail of that artwork, one of the sort of 4 quadrants, and then the final outcome of that same piece. It's a perforated screen that wraps the facade in a story. It's a landmark statement for MITS and its students. That's the full western elevation along Church Street. Obviously with some landscaping to mature. Internally, we've aimed to create a sense of calm and welcome, a refuge away from the hustle and bustle of Richmond. That's sort of, you can see here in the foyer spaces that come together. Internal materials match external materials in areas, connecting inside and out, and also provide a level of robustness that's really important in a boarding facility. And a series of different types of meeting spaces, formal and informal, connect students with their families at home, and the MITS organisation, which is a really, really important part of how the program works. This is an image of the dining spaces, which flow out to the north, the south. The living spaces flow out to a courtyard. Again, in the foreground here, you can see a piece of artwork by Indigenous artist and also MITS staff member as well, Edwina Green. It's called Black Man's Map, and it's derived from sort of topographic rain maps, and it talks to how we navigate and engage with landscape. So level 1 and 2 are a mix of dorm rooms and a collection of study and social spaces. Dorm rooms range from 2 students per room to 4. And then at the second floor, there's a series of more dorm spaces and the rooftop terrace, which has views out over the city. Continuing the storytelling theme, there's lots of design elements in the interiors are drawn from each of the 6 regions where MITS students call home. That's through fabrics, lighting, wallpaper, artwork and wayfinding and graphics, and again, tell the stories of those places, so they're connecting students with their home away from home. Designed and built through COVID, the project was made possible by the incredible generosity of all consultants and contractors. Kane is the head contractor, all subcontractors and material suppliers who contributed significantly throughout the course of the project. And it's really a hallmark of the success of the project, the collaboration between all those people. I'll hand over to Ed.
Thanks, John. So this has been a truly transformative project for us as an organisation. Most importantly, at the centre for our students, this has really become a place of connection. We talk about MITS as being a connected community for young First Nations people living together on Richmond Hill. And if you were coming to this building tonight or last night or any night, you would see that it reflects community life. You would see gatherings of young people sitting, nattering, perhaps weaving, perhaps playing sport outside, perhaps caring for one of the babies or toddlers or one of our staff members. It is a place that reflects community. It's a place that allows our students to live ancient and modern ceremony side by side. So I think about the rooftop garden on the first night of our school year this year, and Uncle Colin Hunter, senior Wurundjeri elder, leading our students through a welcome and a smoking ceremony with 140 people, students and staff, together on the rooftop there. It's also become a very, very important place and a transformative place for our families. John talked about the connection that this building enables us to have with our families, whether they are 3,500 k's away or whether they are with us in Melbourne. Thank you.